Welcome to Pros Know with Boise Cascade. I'm Greg Wells. I'm sitting here with Dan Cheney, Director of Engineering. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks, Greg.
Fantastic. So we kind of get settled in here. Today, I want to talk a little bit about open web trusses. So when we talk about that, there's a lot of conversations out there, a lot of questions of what's better with I-joists or open web. Obviously, both of them have their place in the market, and they're very good competitors with one another. But let's kind of get into the nitty-gritty on that. Can you talk about installation and running mechanicals in each of those solutions with I-joist versus open web floor?
Oh, you bet. So initially, with the open web truss design, it would make you think that it's going to be easier to run mechanical, HVAC, plumbing, and whatnot. But actually, when you get into the layout phase, there are parts of the open web truss that cannot be cut. And so the I-joist with some pre-planning can actually allow for straighter runs with fewer turns and less waste.
So it's easier. You have realistically more flexibility with an I-joist to put mechanicals where they're needed.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So what about the strength and performance of the two solutions?
Floor trusses are only as good as the lumber that's being used to manufacture them. So typically, solid-son lumber comes at higher moisture content that varies quite a bit more than engineered wood. And so I-joists are constructed with laminated veneer lumber flanges at a lower moisture content, and so you get less shrinkage and warpage in the product than you would in a product like an open web floor truss that's made of solid-son lumber.
So you talked about that moisture content. So what does that mean, really? If the lumber shrinks after it's installed, what kind of issues could that potentially have?
Typically, the noise you hear when you walk over that, the squeaking sound that you get, is the nail friction between it and the shrunk away piece of solid-son. And so if that piece has less propensity to shrink, then you get less noise as you walk over a floor.
So better performance through the long haul with an I-joist, less variability, essentially.
Correct.
So that gives us a solid foundation on understanding of where we're at. But what about installation between I-joists and open web floor trusses?
Yeah, so I-joists are field trimmable, lightweight, and don't usually require a large crew to install a floor. Open web trusses are usually heavy and bulky and sometimes require a crane for installation, increasing your installation costs and time at the job site.
We keep hearing over and over, one of the main issues in the building industry is labor. So if you have an opportunity to save some labor costs, that's a huge advantage right there. Out in the marketplace, we've seen some price comparisons that don't necessarily match up. Can you talk about that? For example, when a hanger's needed, when rim board is needed?
As you know, design of each project is an individual design. So as you compare different framing materials, you need to make sure that you're comparing apples and apples. Is it a free open span where the products are spanning from wall to wall, or do you have a beam in the middle where the products frame into? So as you're evaluating each floor plan, you would want to look at the different sizes that we have available to maximize the span, minimize the cost, and reduce the waste on each job.
Perfect. And I know we have some software out there that will allow a customer to pick the floor performance. They have the option to look at different joist series, different thicknesses of the OSB floor panels, etc., so that at that point they can maximize the performance and really reduce the cost. And it allows a lot of flexibility, is my understanding as well.
That's right. And so our proprietary software has that functionality. And then also in our proprietary literature, we cover floor performance for each specific job site.
So Dan, we covered a lot of things today, a lot of great information. So ultimately, BCI joists come with a limited lifetime warranty. What does that mean for our customers?
That limited lifetime warranty has stood the test of time. 60 plus years, Boise Cascade has been producing products for the marketplace, and we stand behind those products. And what it means for builders and distributors is fewer callbacks and less hassle in the field.
Thanks, Dan. Great information. Really appreciate your time today. Thanks for watching. Check out our website, bc.com, to get additional information and resources.